love me too much. You are just excess love. You love me too much. Too much excess love. Excess love. Mama Yeti. Yetunde me. Yay. Your love is patient. You feel my heart. Oyibo. Favor Oyibo. Happy new month, guys. Come on. Yay. You're amazing. How you guys doing today? Good morning. Come on, go ahead and share the video. Let's talk about something crazy. You love me too much, too much, excess love. You love me too much. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Happy new month. The month of December, the last month in the year 2020. Too much excess love. Come on. You love me too much. Happy new month, guys. Hello. Hey. Too much, excess love. How you guys doing today? Happy new month, guys. Happy new month. Too much, excess love. Too much, excess love. Oh, we thank God. Come on, share this video on your page. Let's get more people connected. Happy new month. The month of December is here. The month of greatness. The month of greatness. The month of greatness. Oh yeah. Come on, everybody. That's what I'm saying. Happy new month, everybody. I'm so excited today, man. I'm so excited. You're amazing. Oh. You're amazing. 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 Love me too much. Happy new month. Too much excess love. Yeah. All right. Too much excess love. Shewa Bajolu, what's up? What's up? What was I saying? Happy new month, everybody. I'm excited this morning. Let's get to it. Let's go outside. Let's make it happen. Come on, share this video real quick. Share it real quick. Let's get more people connected. Oh my. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's get to the business of today. Come on, man. You know, we give glory, we give thanks to the Almighty Father for keeping us until now. I'm so grateful to God to be alive at this time. Let me tell you, sometimes I feel like I have coronavirus. This is no joke. You know, sometimes I have sore throat, sometimes I have headaches, sometimes I have body pains and stuff. I'm a little scared. Oh my God, here we go. You got coronavirus. And I'll pray to God. I'll say, God, please have mercy on me. Mi ò lè gún ẹ o, mi ò lè gbé o. Baba God ẹ jọ̀ọ́ o, mi ò lè gbé, mi ò fẹ́ kú o. I'm not gonna lie to you. And Baba God will just answer my prayer, just cool. Will just tell me to go and actually, just go do this, just do that, do that. I'll just drink lemon, I'll drink lime, I will drink, pineapple. I just drink everything. I'll put everything together with everything. I will drink it and I will feel fine. Mi ò ní parọ́ fún ẹ. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's my daily routine. I drink it every day. I thank God it's working. I thank God it's working. Oh, for real. I thank God it's just working daily. All right. So that's what we go through every day. But I thank God I'm still alive. I'm not dead yet. I thank God I didn't bury any of my children. I didn't bury any of my family members. I didn't hear bad news. So I thank God. And this is December already. And we are in December already. You know what I'm saying? We are thanking God. You know, we started with so many people. So many people started 2020 with us, and today they are no more. Good morning, Omotayomi. My money. They're no more today. It is not because we are righteous. It's not because we know how to pray. It is not because we don't commit sin. It's not because we are, we are too close to God. No, that's not the reason. Anu lariga. It's mercy. Anu, they call it Anu. It's mercy. Anu lariga. If not for the mercy of God, where will we be? Nowhere. You see, we're not going to be anywhere. It's just the mercy of God that is making us to be where we are today. We just thank Him. All right? We glorify Him for keeping us. You see, so many of us believe coronavirus is a lie. Because it didn't come near you. That's why you are thinking that coronavirus is not real. It is real. The people that actually that have been affected, they know. The people that, for real. On our network alone, on this network, on this raw platform, we lost over 18 people. Over 18 people that I know that have been counting. 18 of our friends, they're gone. Not because they are sinners. Anu lariga. Anu ni mo bere o. Anu ni mo bere. Anu ni mo bere o, anu ni mo riba o, awijare mako o, anu ni mo bere o. That's the CAC in me. Kurima. So me levi. Mom, ma ti lo mi. Ma lo mi ba. All right. So we thank God for everything that God is doing in our lives. You know what I'm saying? So people are asking me, hey, what is this cocoa you are putting in your mouth? Have you seen fire inside it? There is no fire inside. It's a costume. It's because you're looking at my day. This is very heavy. This one and money. This one and money. I put my money where my mouth is. You know that? They gave it to me. Donation. This is donation. Pastor Chola. Our hip hop pastor, Emma Billy, Solomon Eshigan. Thank you. That is so. You know what I'm saying? All right. So today, this morning, we are going towards a direction. And the direction we are going is very, very hot. I'm just getting you guys ready and preparing you guys for a hot session with Pastor Shola. Or maybe we should say Dr. Shola, because the pastor is you're going to feel like, is this guy really born again? I am not. I'm trying to be born again. I'm trying to be born again for real. But when I see the truth, I will say it. I will say the truth for real. When I see it, I say it. That's my own. I can't keep quiet. I can't. All right. Now, the issue is this. Let me tell you what's going on. Marriage is complicated. Marriage is difficult. All right. There are so many things that we have not been checking out. So many things we don't think about. First of all, before I go, I want to quickly thank you guys. You guys have given me 28,278 stars within 1 month. You will not believe it. Within 1 month, I have collected 28,278 stars from you guys. This is just lovely. You guys are super generous. You guys are amazing. For real, I'm not going to lie to you. Without you guys, I'm nothing. You guys have made this a wonderful moment for me. You know, that Facebook is actually picking me to be one of the ones that are receiving the most stars. Apart from what's this guy's name? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's show received over 1 million stars. But I'm one of those receiving stars. I got 28,000. Just imagine. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity, but I'm now competing with celebrities all over the world. You know what I'm saying? They put me side by side. They actually put my name side by side. 28,000. You know, I saw some celebrities are like 5,000, 2,000. Some are like 1,000. But Dr. Shola is actually on 28,000. 28,000. You know what I'm saying? You guys are amazing. You made it happen. You guys made it happen. You know, for me to be there, recognized by the entire world, to be one of those that are making impact in the society. So I really thank God for that. All right, 28,278 stars. That's amazing. That's awesome. All right, so I thank you guys. I appreciate you for that. And I believe you're still going to give me more stars today because this is the beginning of a new month. All right, let's aim for the stars. Let's go straight for the stars. Let them start coming in. All right, come inside. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be actually celebrating when we are going to be on top. The Raw platform will be on top when we come to start giving. All right. So thank you very much. Now, marriage is difficult. It's not that easy the way we see marriage. And I always tell people, there's nothing wrong in you having faith. Faith is good. You know, when we say, oh, we're having faith, we're using faith lifter. Let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. It's very good to sing that song. It's very good to say, I'm healed when I'm sick. It's very good to say, I'm rich when I'm broke. And all of that stuff. It's very, very easy to say. All right? Thank you very much for that 100 star. God bless you. Now, it's very easy to say. But when we are saying it, we must have that understanding that we are only confessing something. And we must walk on those things. We must walk on it. Walk on it so that it can come to pass. You activate that blessing. When you are tapping into a blessing or when you are prophesying, you have to activate the prophecy. It's not by the word of mouth alone. You have to put effort. That's why the Bible says faith without work is dead. Nothing's going to happen even if you have faith like a mustard seed and you didn't put that faith to work. It's never going to work for you. And that's the problem we are having in the society today, that we have men of great faith. They have so much faith. They go to night vigil 7 times a week. They go to 7 days revival. They go to everywhere. They believe, they accept, they receive. All manners of they receive, I receive. You take it, I take it. The kingdom of God suffereth violence, and violence, man, they take it by force. I'm taking it by force. You know, but when you exercise and demonstrate all of this kind of faith and stuff, and you are not putting action to it, it's like you are actually not activating it. Mama, today, God bless you for the 200 star. You are not activating that particular blessing or the prophecy. It's never going to work. And that's what I think pastors should be explaining to people when they are prophesying to them. Let them understand I'm prophesying the mind of God, but the mind of God must be acted upon for it to come to pass. Very simple. Come on. Put your hands together for Jesus this morning. Hallelujah. Put your hands together for Jesus, man. Know your way. Yay. Yay. I worship you today, Jesus. Oh, you can live. I bow before your throne, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Come on, guys. Today, Jesus. I bow before your throne, Jesus. Hey. Worship you today, Jesus. I come before your throne, Let's stop it right there. Let's go ahead. Now, as I'm saying, so when we activate the blessing of God, you will now begin to see the effect in our lives. It's going to show face. It's going to show forth, because hard work is important for you to put together with whatever it is that you want to do. Don't fool yourself. Don't just go to church and actually be using faith lifters and just be, I have faith, I have faith. You have to put your faith to work. All right? So when it comes to marriage, marriage needs a lot of work. You have to put a lot of work in place for it to work the way it's going to work. Now, my direction today is anger. Everybody will get angry. It's not just only you. I get angry myself. All right? When I get angry, furnitures can be moving around. You know, plates and cups and everything can be moving around. So many things can move around. In those days when I get angry, I can spin the table upside down, turn the chair upside down, break some stuff and all kinds of stuff, just to demonstrate and to make my anger known that I am not pleased with what's going on. You know, and when you are seeing the gravity of what I'm doing, you're going to know that I'm super pissed off. Oh, Matayo, thank you very much for the 2,000 stars right there. I really thank God for your life. God bless you. You know, that I'm really, really angry. I'm not pleased with what I'm seeing right now. And that's exactly what anger will do. Anger will showcase or prove to the person how you are not in love with what is going on. Thank you for that 100 star again. God bless everybody as you're sending it. Now, these are the things that we need to understand that is going on in marriage. When you get married, you need to deal with your anger. Deal with your anger. Anger will make you to do things you are not supposed to do. Anger will make you to say things you are not supposed to say. And one funny thing about what we say is that the moment you have said it, that's it. You cannot erase it. No, you can't. You can't erase it. So many people believe that when they go on social media and they type in so many things, and then the next thing is, I'm going to delete it. You didn't delete nothing. Jackie Robinson, you didn't delete. Those things can be called back. They are actually right there in the space. They can call them back, and then people can still read exactly what you posted. All right? So you need to watch it, because your anger will make you to do what you're not supposed to do, will make you to say what you're not supposed to say, will make you to act the way you are not supposed to act. And by the time you finish doing all that stuff, that's why Yoruba people say, Ibinu omopolowo lesenle. It means that when you are angry, you are saying all manners of big stuff and all manners of things. And when you are now done getting angry, your face now clear. And you now begin to ask yourself, why did I say that? How could I say that to her? Why did I say all this? Thank you very much for the 100 stars. God bless you, my dear sister Fagbola Tommy. God bless you. You know, you begin to ask yourself, why? But the issue is this. The moment you say it, you can't reverse it. Oh, Leko, it means the word is like an egg. By the time it drops on the ground, you can't put it back together. That's the end of it. All right? So many of you don't understand. So many of you don't understand the gravity of words. Either to a man or to a woman, it doesn't matter, even to a kid. The other day when I brought my guests to talk about parenting, I didn't know parenting is as deep as that. So deep, deeper than ever. I'm actually trying to study about parenting right now. I'm telling you, there are certain things you are not supposed to do to your children. You are not supposed to yell. Because what he said to us was, we are, let me remember the English. We are domesticated. We are domesticated animals. All right? They didn't allow us to live our life the way it's supposed to be. We are being domesticated. All right? To act in a different way, to act like another person. All right? You're acting like a different kind of person. That's why you are not able to use your talent. That's why you're able to live. You're not able to live your life the way God has designed it for you to live, because you have been programmed to live your life like another person. All right? So I'm actually doing that. And also in marriage, we are supposed to be very careful. All right? What we say, how we say it, whenever we're getting angry, your mouth is supposed to be controlled. And then, you know, so many people get angry, they get angry and angry and angry. And when they get angry like that, they don't care what happened next. They can do anything. Some people will throw something at you or whatsoever. So you need to be very careful. You must be very careful. You can't just be angry. You have to watch it. Watch it, because when you get angry, the moment you get angry, you throw something on the ground, and that's going to be the end of it. So, this story I'm about to tell you guys right now happened really. All right? This is not them say. I was the one listening to the whole stuff, and I was part of the whole system, the whole conversation, and I'm going to tell you guys what happened next after this whole stuff. Because see, your words can break the heart of a person. Your words can ruin your marriage. Your words can actually, can do anything to you, and can bring death also. And this almost brought death. All right. Now, I want to say it real quick. You see, as a man, we believe that we have all of this power. There's the great power in us that we can do, we can say, we can say all manners of things. It doesn't matter. We have the mouth to do whatever it is, and then we do it, and that's it. All right? And she got no right to actually respond, or she got no right to say nothing back, because she's more or less a second-class citizen. She's not. She got a right. You can't just continue to yell and shout and do whatever and thinking that she's going to continue to keep quiet the rest of her life. Women do the same. All right? But men, you guys do it a lot. You think like, okay, you got the power. You can say anything. I say nothing. And when I finish saying it, and that's it. She got no right to say nothing and nothing. I'm not telling you. What you're doing is that you're building a monster. Because every day you say those things, she's accepting those things, she's keeping quiet, and inside of her, she's building those things and processing those things, and those things that you're actually saying to her will start forming up in her life, and she will become a big monster that one day, oh my God, one very beautiful day, that you will not believe it at all. You will say one tiny little thing, and that is when your cup will overflow, and you will begin to see your wife in a different level. You're going to begin to see your wife in a different class, and her English will be different, her reaction is going to be different, her words are going to be shocked when she will give it to you so hot that she will give it to you pressed down, shaking together, running over. And you will now start running and thinking in your head, this woman is a witch. She's not a witch. You created her. That's what you have created. You created that woman. And that's what she's doing to you right now. So if you want a sweet girl, be sweet to her. If you want an understanding baby, be understanding. If you want a woman that is caring, be caring. If you want a woman that is seasoned with words, be seasoned with your word. If you want a woman that is godly, be godly yourself. If you want a woman that is educated, be educated yourself. If you want a woman that is well-cultured, be well-cultured yourself. If you want a woman that is a believer, be a believer. If you want a woman that is trustworthy, be trustworthy yourself. I'm telling you, whatever you want in a wife, you got to be yourself. You got to be. If you're not, you are never going to find it. Who you are going to find is you. And you may not find you at the beginning. She might be herself. But by the time you live together for some certain time and you are behaving in a way, you are teaching her to behave exactly like you. All right? That's exactly what you're teaching her. You're teaching her to behave exactly like you. And by the time she starts showing you sample of yourself, you will not believe it. That's why you will look at yourself. You can't marry yourself because you are a horrible person. Because now you'll be seeing yourself in your wife. You see the behavior of yourself in your wife. And that's exactly what you're going to be enjoying. And whatever you see in your wife, you created it. You caused it. It's not her fault. It's your fault. That's what you've created. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're a man that can nag people to death, your wife will nag you to death. If you're a man that tells lies a lot, your wife will lie to you like korokoro. If you're a bangarobisi, you're banging people all around, your wife will soon be banging people everywhere. I'm telling you, and then you'll be pissed off as a no man's business. If you're a bully, your wife will become a bully. All right? If you're a stupid idiot, your wife will become a stupid idiot. Whatever it is that you are, is what is going to be. You see some women, when they refuse to become like you, that's when you now see them and they say, you know what, go kiss transform, I'm leaving. Those women, they cannot become stupid. They don't want to be a bully. They don't want to be a stupid person, so they will pack their bag and walk away. And when they leave, you start crying. And you know, oh, he left me. She dumped me because now she's rich. She dumped me because now she got money. She dumped me after she became a nurse. No, the woman is smart. She waited until she's able to make money. She said, "What, Lucy? If you have a loss school, my school, my reason, my wife don't pass here like it's hot." When you now dump your hands like it's hot, you now start crying all around the place and start badmouthing them, telling them that they are bad people. They are not bad people. They don't want to be like you. You are a stupid, terrible person. All right, that's why they dump your ass. When they now dump your ass, they are now gone. They are now doing well somewhere, and you are busy crying everywhere you're going. It's better for you to be good. Try and be good in your life. Do the right thing. All right? Stop doing yama yama. You do yama yama, finish now. You are not blaming the woman that is gone. She's not gone because she doesn't love you. She used to love you because she doesn't like your character. She doesn't want to become like you. Now she dumped you and she's gone. All right? Let me dance a little bit, Jare. Everywhere. I like it though. I like the way you did treat me, oh. That was right. Come on. I like it though. All right, stop. All right, let's go ahead real quick. Now, what am I saying this morning is that you need to be good. Watch it. It's every one of us can be angry. You can say all manners of things. One thing I want you to know about women is this. Women can get angry. They can fly and shout and yell and blah, 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 blah. See, let me tell you, when a woman is shouting and yelling at you, all you need to do is just to reach out and grab her hands and drag her to yourself. Give her a tight hug. She will beat you, slap you, do whatever gradually. And as she's slapping and beating you, the intensity will start going down gradually. And before you know it, she'll just hug your neck and then she'll start breathing on your neck. And you now just reach out to her and just chop her lips. Baby, I love you. I love you. And as you're doing, I love you, she will come all the way down. Pick her up. If she's actually the one you can pick up. Don't pick her up if it's mama like you. Just pick her up and take her to bed. Bang the air out of her. She will come down. I'm not going to lie to you. It's something that is actually happening. Alright? That's going to help your life. It's going to help your life a lot. And when you do that, practice that, you are going to be good. For real. It can sound funny, but it's not funny, it's real. It's a real thing, I'm telling you this stuff. When a woman is lying up and shouting and yelling and stuff, don't go ahead and shout with her. Don't be shouting to her back and be fighting her back. All she's asking you for is attention. Drag her to yourself. Drag her to yourself and stuff. And you just go, but if she's this mama alaye that is big, if it's big, you don't carry her. If it's big, don't carry her. Tó bá ti big, man. Lọ gbé sókè o. Tó bá lọ gbé sókè, tó big, ó tọ́ nìyẹn fún ẹ. Ẹ̀yin máa kán sọnù ni. Ẹ̀yin á kán sọnù. Ó tiẹ̀ lè rí gbé. That's the magic. I'm not going to lie to you. I know the magic. I know the magic very well. All you got to do is she'll stop beating you like it's a lie, it's a lie. Just say, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. I'm happy. Come on. But when your wife is yelling and you are yelling and the two of you start yelling and yelling, nobody will know. Everybody will just be yelling and there won't be anybody to coordinate the whole stuff. You got to be coordinated. You as a man, you are not supposed to be saying it back. A woman can tell you all manners of things. The woman can even say, oh, Lucinia, let me down. I don't like this now. Let's go to Chima. Eguito. She can say that. It's not because she can say all that kind of stuff. It's a lie. She's suddenly telling you opposite of what you have. She's just looking for a way to hurt you. She's not looking for a way to make you angry and mad. That's what he just wanted to break your bone. Just trying to look for something to make you so mad. That's why he said that. She knows that you don't have big banana, your small banana, that your banana is big, but she will just use it to crush your ego. She just want to crush your ego. All right. So as you're going, you yourself supposed to know and say, you know what? I understand you're angry. Just pull out to yourself. Pull out to yourself. She didn't mean that stuff. She didn't mean that stuff she's saying. She didn't mean it. I'm not gonna lie to you. They don't mean a lot of things. They just want to overpower you. They know you are the one in charge, and then they are looking for something to say that will break your back. Something they can say that will get you so mad. They know that you're a very sensitive person. You are sensitive, that you don't like words. So they will speak words to you that will actually be able to break your back. You as a man supposed to now understand that and stop. And then you just have to just be able to knock your pride down, put your wife to yourself, and hold her down and be able to explain things to her. All right? So it's not a good thing for women to say that to a man also. It's not. That's what they call verbal abuse. Verbal abuse. You are not supposed to say it to anybody. Don't use words on anybody. Women too, but women, when they do their own, they're just doing it on a level of looking for a way to break your back and all kinds of stuff like that and everything. But see, it's not encouraged to. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to do that. All right? But this particular story that I want to tell you quickly is this particular man and the woman, they are actually having a kind of a conversation. And the conversation started getting out of hand. They get so mad and all that. And during the time that they got mad, they started saying all manners of things and all kinds of stuff. And the woman was actually talking about, you these stupid idiots, you have 4 kids outside of your tear. You know, that kind of stuff. I was there, I was listening to the whole stuff and everything. It was entertaining to me, like the woman was just saying all manners of things, but me, I was learning something from the stuff. I was just telling myself, I said, well, that's true. That's the fact. Anybody should be able to understand that. To be relate. Thank you very much for the 500. God bless you. Should be able to relate with that, because maybe this woman is venting. Maybe she has been thinking of, when can I tell this guy these things? Oh, I don't have the opportunity of telling her or telling him anything. He doesn't give me. Thank you very much. This man doesn't give me the time to talk to him. I don't have any time I can actually spend with him. Maybe I should just voice it out right now, what I've been thinking in my heart. So she decided to take hold of that opportunity, seize the opportunity to say what's on her mind. And stuff. I was learning something from that. And stuff. And then the man just turned around and just started yelling, saying, oh, you stupid idiot woman, we're in here, we're I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. That was way too much of information to give in front of a stranger. A stranger is sitting down there. That's too much of information. Even if the vagina is stinky, I'm not supposed to be there when you will say it. Maybe it's true. Maybe he himself is trying to seize the opportunity to say what's on his mind. Maybe that's been on his mind for some time, that he wanted to say it, but he doesn't have the time to say it. Maybe the woman is not giving him time to say it, so he decided to say it at that point in time. But it's not supposed to be in front of me. I'm a stranger. The two of you are supposed to call yourself inside and sit down and discuss your marital issues right there. You know what I'm saying? All right? So the next thing that happened was, I really didn't see anything big in what was going on, because it's kind of like a quarrel between husband and wife. But see, the moment he uttered the statement, that statement entered into a wrong part of the woman's life. That the woman ran all the way to the kitchen, and I was thinking, is she going to go outside? What does she want to do? And why? Before I got to know it, she came with a long knife. and a long life in her hand. Jesus Christ, I started processing this thing in my head. All right, if this woman decides to throw the knife, and this guy should dodge it, and the knife just missed this guy, it's going to come straight for me. I don't want to die because of another person's situation. I quickly come on this side. I said, Madam, take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. And luckily, I went all the way to the back and I grabbed the hands of this woman, and the knife fell down to the ground, and I grabbed the knife. And she was about to go to the kitchen to get another one. And I said, Madam, take it easy. What is the big deal about what this guy just said? He said, oh, Bami, oh, dear life for me, sir. Oh, go ahead, me, oh, I wanted to ask, I said, Mommy, so boy, you I wanted to ask. And I could have given her a solution right there. I said, Madam, there is a way out. You don't have to kill somebody because of this. Because of this. But I couldn't ask that question at that point in time because I don't want another knife to come because of me. So I decided to just keep my mouth shut. I said, Madam, just still take it easy. We're going to settle this thing. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. And she actually obeyed and she sat down. And I looked at the man for real. This is the first time in my life I am going to punch somebody right on the chest. For real. First time in my life. I walked to the man and I punched her right on the chest. And she fell to the couch. And I said, Sir, you have disrespected your wife in front of a stranger. That's not allowed. And the man said, but Pastor, I'm angry. I'm really, really angry. I said, you don't get to that level of anger that you cannot hold yourself together. That's the first time in my life I'm punching somebody. And then maybe the woman now felt I'm on her side. Then she just calmed down. Like, now Pastor is on my side. Then we have to drop everything we've been talking about all day to talk about verbal abuse. To talk about alterations. To talk about words. All right, statements that you can say, you can use that can trigger death, that can bring destruction, that can bring death into your life, into your marriage, that can bring divorce into your life. This woman is so sensitive about the world. That kind of a statement is not something you should say, even if it's happening. If it's happening, I believe you should have a relationship with your wife to the extent that you can tell it to her, honey, something's wrong. It seems like your vagina is not well kept. It seems something's stinking there. Do you have a sickness? Do you want to see a doctor? Do you want to see this? Do you want to see that? But it's not something you bring out during a counseling session and then you want to use it freely. It's never done. It's never done. The woman didn't insult you like that. She's only saying you are having side children when you're supposed to be building houses. All right? There are so many things that she could say to break your back also. How about if you say, you will look okay? You know, that kind of stuff can actually mess a man up, that a man can go and jump in the sea. For real. A man can go and commit suicide when you tell him he has very tiny penis. Say, you this stupid idiot with tiny little penis. That man, because when you talk about a man is actually the penis. If the penis is actually not big or medium size, the man is actually going to feel very, very, I don't know, the inferiority complex and the whatever it is will be there. And he won't feel like a man. So every time you see him and you say, oh, he's having small penis, you are actually sending him to the grave, for real. You're sending him to the grave. All right. You see a lot of men, they get so pissed off when they're having sex with their wife and the wife is not doing anything. No sound, no ringtone, no nothing. No sound, no ringtone, no nothing. They feel like they're not doing anything. And then the wife will just be there. And the man will be saying, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? She'll be saying it inside, though. You'll say it inside. Who's your daddy? She will look back. Well, go me, Daddy. Oh, say nothing. Oh, you're not doing anything. So the man will stand up on the bed and will go to the bathroom and he will want to cry. He will want to cry. Say, I can't even do nothing. He with all my mouth. See, this woman is not doing anything. And that's why you see a lot of women when they are doing it and they want to help you so that you won't go and kill yourself. They will say, yeah. Oh, baby. What's it with you? mo dára, mo dára, ọkùnrin ládàá, ọkùnrin ní ọ̀, ò ń sá mi o, ò ń lá mi o, ò ń rẹ́ mi o, ò bẹ́ẹ̀ rẹ́ mi bá o, ó kàn mí lọ́rùn. All kinds of stuff. You see, all those things. You know, they say all those things just because they're just trying to help you. So a lot of times you will just find out that all of this stuff is something that people do in marriage, and at the end of the day, it's going to cost us our homes. It's going to cost us our homes. If you don't understand, it's very good for us to be truthful. Let's be truthful. Be truthful to each other. You know, go into the bedroom, sit down, and talk to yourselves. Sit down, talk to yourselves. Sit down, have a kind of a heart-to-heart talk. Don't be lying to yourself. Don't be playing games. All right? When you play games, you are pushing your downfall forward. At the end of the day, it's going to hit you. It's going to come to pass. Because one day, it's going to be one day, monkey go market and no go come back. So we must be very careful how we deal with situations like that. So many of our men don't like that kind of stuff. So many of our women don't like that kind of stuff. People are very sensitive. So you have to pick your words. You have to understand your words are very important. You don't just say things that will ruin the other person. You don't just utter statements that will ruin the other person. Do you know how many of our women have been sent to psychiatric hospitals because of words? Because of words. Because of what you've said in the past. You know, a lot of women today, they are actually so moody, they're careful, they don't want to talk, they just want to sit down. You know, all because you have said some things that have ruined them. They don't want to be free around you anymore. Because they can't be. They can't even be free around you. Because that stuff is still haunting them. It's going to continue to haunt them for the rest of their lives. Worse. Some of you women have said some things that is still haunting your husbands today. Many men have said something that's haunting their wives today. Whenever we're getting angry and we're so mad, we need to understand that there are certain things you must not do. All right? Because one day, we are going to settle. One day, this whole fight and misunderstanding is going to be gone. All right? By the time it's gone, the effect of your words will still be there. It will linger. The effect of your word will still be there. Sometimes they will lie down on the bed and it's going to flash through their mind. Sometimes they may be washing in the kitchen and it's going to flash through their mind. It's possible for them to be driving, it's going to flash through their mind. All right? It can come back anytime, and then when it comes back, it will develop a kind of hatred in them towards you. Hatred towards you. And you will not know. And you begin to ask and say, but that stuff happened like five years ago. That stuff happened like 20 years ago. Of course. It happened like 5 years ago, but the effect is still there till today. In your ogun ọdún, feli. And that's the reason, that's the meaning. Inyo is not hot anyway, but I'm only telling you is Uwe proverb. What you are saying, or what you said 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, can still get effect today in the life of people. Life of people. The destiny of a person can get changed just by alteration, by words. You can say a word to somebody, and that may be the end of their prosperity. You can say one tiny little statement, and that word can actually destroy a marriage totally. And likewise, you can say one word that will make a marriage to work. You can say one word that will make life to change. You can say one word that will actually turn things around totally. All right? So that's the issue. All right, I'm going to leave you guys alone. I have some other stuff to do quickly. I'll leave you guys alone to this. Go and think about it. You know, if you need counseling, feel free to connect with me, contact me through my number. I'll be able to actually handle your case for you. All right? So thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.